Did you know that some vegetables can actually make diabetes harder to control? While we often think of vegetables as the ultimate health food, certain types can raise blood sugar levels quickly, creating challenges for those managing diabetes. For people with diabetes, it's not just sweets and carbs to be cautious about. Even some popular veggies can cause unexpected blood sugar spikes that overwork your pancreas and may contribute to insulin resistance. In this video, we'll tell you about the top 10 worst vegetables for diabetics to avoid. As always, make sure to consult your healthcare provider before making any major changes to your diet. Stay tuned to the end, where we'll share 5 vegetables that can actually help manage your blood sugar levels knowledge that could make a real difference in your diabetes management. 1. Potatoes. Potatoes are high in a type of carbohydrate called starch. When we eat foods rich in starch, our bodies quickly break them down into glucose, the simplest form of sugar. This rapid breakdown means that right after eating potatoes, glucose floods into the bloodstream, causing a swift rise in blood sugar levels. This is particularly challenging for diabetics, whose bodies struggle to keep blood sugar levels stable. Another component of potatoes to be aware of is their high glycemic index, GI. The GI measures how fast and high a food can raise blood sugar levels. Foods with a high GI, like potatoes, cause quick spikes, putting extra strain on the pancreas, the organ responsible for releasing insulin. Each spike requires the pancreas to work harder, releasing more insulin to help bring blood sugar back down. Over time, this constant demand can wear down the pancreas, making it even harder to manage blood sugar effectively. Additionally, potatoes are often low in fiber. Fiber is beneficial for blood sugar control because it slows down the absorption of sugars into the bloodstream. Unlike fiber-rich vegetables that help keep blood sugar levels steady, potatoes' low fiber content means the sugars are absorbed more quickly, leading to sharper and more immediate spikes. This fast absorption can lead to what's called a glycemic roller coaster, where blood sugar rapidly rises and then crashes, creating a cycle that can leave you feeling tired, hungry, and craving more carbs. The National Institutes of Health conducted a study that found that every 3 servings per week increase in potato consumption over a period of 4 years was associated with a 4% higher risk of type 2 diabetes. 2. Corn. Corn is naturally high in carbohydrates, which quickly turn into sugars once they're digested. These carbs convert into glucose, and the glucose enters the bloodstream, causing a rise in blood sugar levels. For someone with diabetes, this spike in glucose can be a lot for the body to handle, especially if the insulin response isn't strong enough to keep blood sugar levels stable. Along with that, corn is relatively high in omega-6 fatty acids. While these fats are essential in small amounts, a diet high in omega-6 fatty acids without enough omega-3s can lead to chronic inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation is linked to various health problems, including heart disease, which is a primary concern for diabetics. Since heart health is closely related to blood sugar control, consuming foods high in omega-6 without balancing them with omega-3 can indirectly impact diabetes management and cardiovascular health. Furthermore, corn is often processed into products like cornstarch, corn syrup, and other additives that are commonly found in packaged foods. These refined versions of corn are stripped of fiber and nutrients, resulting in rapid sugar absorption and increased blood sugar levels. Processed corn products are often used as fillers in processed foods and can contribute to higher blood sugar levels and increased inflammation. Especially when consumed in excess, these additives can worsen insulin resistance and promote unhealthy weight gain, complicating diabetes management. 3. Peas. Peas might look like a small, innocent vegetable, but for people with diabetes, they can actually present a few hidden challenges for managing blood sugar. Peas are surprisingly high in natural sugars. While they taste mildly sweet, the sugars in peas can quickly add up, especially if you're eating them as a side dish or adding them to different meals. These sugars are easily broken down in the body and quickly enter the bloodstream, which can lead to a rise in blood glucose levels. For diabetics, this quick increase in blood sugar can be tough to manage, as it requires a rapid insulin response to keep things balanced. Peas also contain purines, which are compounds that, when metabolized, can lead to increased uric acid levels in the body. For people prone to gout or kidney issues, high uric acid levels can cause or worsen joint inflammation and lead to painful gout attacks. Since gout and kidney issues are more common in people with diabetes, the purine content in peas can be problematic, potentially contributing to health issues beyond blood sugar management. Additionally, peas are rich in FODMAPs, a group of fermentable carbohydrates that can cause digestive issues for people with irritable bowel syndrome or sensitive digestive systems. High FODMAP foods can lead to bloating, gas, and discomfort, which can be particularly disruptive. While FODMAPs do not directly affect blood sugar, these digestive issues can make it challenging for diabetics to feel well after meals and may lead to dietary restrictions that impact overall health and nutrition. 4. Beets. Beets are vibrant and packed with nutrients, but for those with diabetes, they come with some hidden concerns for blood sugar management. Beets are naturally high in sugars. This natural sugar content is what gives beets their sweet taste, but it also means that when you eat beets, the sugars get absorbed into your bloodstream fairly quickly. For diabetics, this quick release of sugar can lead to a spike in blood glucose levels, which can be challenging to regulate, especially if insulin levels don't respond fast enough to counterbalance it. These sugars can increase the overall calorie intake, which can make weight management harder for those with diabetes. Over time, excess calories can lead to weight gain, which increases the risk of worsening insulin resistance. While natural sugars are healthier than added sugars, diabetics need to monitor calorie intake carefully, and beets' natural sweetness can add up if eaten frequently or in large quantities. Beets are high in oxalates, naturally occurring compounds that can contribute to kidney stone formation in susceptible individuals. Since kidney health is a major concern for diabetics, those prone to kidney stones may need to limit high oxalate foods like beets to avoid putting additional strain on their kidneys. High oxalate intake can lead to crystal formation in the kidneys, resulting in painful stones and, in severe cases, kidney damage, which can be particularly risky for individuals managing diabetes-related kidney complications. 5. Butternut squash. Butternut squash is often considered a healthy vegetable, but for diabetics, it can create some unexpected challenges when it comes to managing blood sugar levels. Butternut squash is relatively high in carbohydrates, especially for a vegetable. These carbs break down into glucose once digested, leading to a rise in blood sugar levels. For someone with diabetes, this influx of glucose can be tough to handle, particularly because it requires a quick insulin response to stabilize the spike. When the body struggles to keep up, blood sugar levels can remain elevated longer than they should, which isn't ideal for diabetes management. Butternut squash is rich in beta-carotene, an antioxidant that converts to vitamin A in the body. While vitamin A is beneficial for immune and eye health, excess beta-carotene, especially from foods and supplements combined, can lead to hypervitaminosis A, a condition caused by too much vitamin A. This condition can strain the liver and cause symptoms such as nausea, headaches, and even liver damage in severe cases. Diabetics taking vitamin A supplements may need to limit high beta-carotene foods to avoid overloading their system. The carbohydrate density in butternut squash can lead to digestive discomfort, particularly for those with sensitive digestive systems. Large amounts of starchy carbs in meals can cause bloating, gas, or discomfort, making it hard to digest the meal comfortably. These digestive issues, although unrelated to blood sugar directly, can cause discomfort that affects appetite and meal planning, making balanced eating more challenging for people managing diabetes. 6. Carrots. Carrots are often thought of as a healthy snack, but for diabetics, they can lead to some surprising blood sugar challenges. Carrots contain a fair amount of natural sugars, especially when cooked. These sugars are what give carrots their subtle sweetness, but they also mean that when you eat carrots, these sugars are quickly converted to glucose in the bloodstream. For someone with diabetes, this can lead to a rapid rise in blood sugar levels, which requires the body to release insulin quickly to balance things out. When blood sugar rises fast, it can be tough for the body to keep things steady, which is especially challenging for those managing diabetes. Another element to consider is the glycemic index of cooked carrots. When carrots are raw, they have a relatively low glycemic index, meaning they're digested slowly. But when carrots are cooked, the glycemic index increases, meaning they're digested and absorbed more quickly. This faster absorption rate can lead to a quicker spike in blood glucose, making it harder to maintain stable levels for diabetics. Foods that cause rapid increases in blood sugar levels can make daily management more complicated and put additional strain on insulin production. 7. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are often seen as a healthier alternative to regular potatoes, but for those managing diabetes, they can still present some challenges in keeping blood sugar levels stable. Sweet potatoes are naturally high in carbohydrates. When you eat sweet potatoes, those carbs are quickly broken down into glucose in the body, which enters the bloodstream and causes blood sugar levels to rise. For diabetics, this rapid increase in glucose can be difficult to manage, as it requires a quick insulin response to stabilize. When the body can't produce enough insulin fast enough, blood sugar levels can remain elevated, which is not ideal for diabetes management. Sweet potatoes are also high in oxalates, which can increase the risk of kidney stones in those predisposed to them. Since diabetics often have an increased risk of kidney issues, oxalate-rich foods like sweet potatoes could contribute to stone formation and complicate kidney function, particularly in individuals with diabetic kidney disease. Sweet potatoes are rich in potassium, which is beneficial for many but potentially problematic for those with blood pressure issues or kidney disease. Excessive potassium can interfere with certain medications, such as blood pressure drugs, and can put extra strain on the kidneys, making potassium-rich foods a double-edged sword for diabetics with cardiovascular or kidney complications. 8. Pumpkin. Pumpkin is a fall favorite, but for those managing diabetes, it might not be as friendly to blood sugar as you'd hope. Pumpkin contains a fair amount of natural sugars. These sugars contribute to its slightly sweet taste, but they also mean that after you eat pumpkin, the sugars are quickly broken down into glucose and released into the bloodstream. This process can cause a sudden spike in blood sugar levels, which can be difficult for diabetics to manage, especially if insulin levels aren't able to keep up with this quick rise. Another factor to consider is pumpkin's high glycemic index. Even though pumpkin isn't overly sweet, its high glycemic index means that it's rapidly digested and absorbed by the body. Foods with a high glycemic index, like pumpkin, can cause blood sugar to rise quickly, requiring a rapid response from insulin. For diabetics, these sudden increases can lead to fluctuations that are tough to balance, putting strain on the pancreas and potentially contributing to insulin resistance over time. Additionally, pumpkin doesn't contain much fiber, which is key for slowing down sugar absorption in the body. While fiber can help stabilize blood sugar by preventing glucose from flooding the bloodstream, pumpkin's low fiber content means there's less of that beneficial buffering effect. This makes it easier for the sugars in pumpkin to be absorbed quickly, resulting in a rapid blood sugar rise that diabetics need to monitor carefully. 9. Plantains. Plantains might look similar to bananas, but they pack a unique punch when it comes to blood sugar impact, especially for people with diabetes. Plantains are high in carbohydrates, particularly starches, which convert into glucose once digested. When you eat plantains, these starches are rapidly broken down, releasing glucose into the bloodstream. This can cause a sharp increase in blood sugar levels, making it difficult for diabetics to keep their levels steady. The higher the starch content, the more insulin the body needs to balance blood sugar, and for diabetics, this extra demand can be challenging to manage. Another consideration is that plantains, especially when ripe, contain a significant amount of natural sugars. As plantains ripen, their starches break down into simpler sugars, which are absorbed more quickly by the body. This leads to a faster rise in blood sugar after eating ripe plantains compared to unripe ones. For diabetics, this rapid spike can disrupt blood sugar control, requiring a quick insulin response to keep levels from staying elevated. Repeated blood sugar spikes can lead to increased insulin resistance over time, making diabetes management even more challenging. Additionally, plantains are relatively low in fiber, particularly when cooked. Fiber typically helps to slow down the absorption of sugars, providing a buffer that helps stabilize blood sugar levels. However, in plantains, the limited fiber content means there's less of this buffering effect, which allows glucose to enter the bloodstream more quickly. This can create a cycle of blood sugar highs and lows, leading to energy dips and even cravings for more carbs shortly after eating. For diabetics, managing these fluctuations is essential, and plantains' low fiber content makes that job a bit tougher. 10. Parsnips. Parsnips might look like a healthy root vegetable option, but for diabetics, they can be surprisingly tricky for blood sugar control. One consideration with parsnips is their high glycemic index. This means parsnips are digested and absorbed relatively quickly, leading to sharp increases in blood glucose levels. Foods with a high glycemic index put a strain on the pancreas, which has to release more insulin to lower blood sugar quickly. For someone with diabetes, these sudden spikes can make it harder to maintain stable glucose levels throughout the day, and frequent spikes can contribute to insulin resistance over time. Moreover, while parsnips do contain some fiber, it's not enough to balance out the carbs and sugars effectively. Fiber typically helps slow down the absorption of glucose, making it easier for the body to manage blood sugar levels steadily. However, with parsnips, the fiber content is relatively low, so glucose enters the bloodstream more quickly. This lack of substantial fiber buffering can lead to those post-meal blood sugar spikes, creating a cycle of highs and lows that diabetics often try to avoid. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Don't forget to leave a comment and let me know what you think. See you in the next one.